Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about manifestation, and I was observing a lot of manifestation teachings, and it seems to me that people might get confused or even misguided when we don't really understand what's going on. So, what I mean by this is that manifestation teachings are out there because they should be actually something that comes after your enlightenment teachings or self-realization. So the ability to manifest given to the ego before that individuality has reached itself knowing as itself as consciousness can be actually just sidetracking then the ego. See, from the ego you can experience manifestation. And what do I mean by ego? I mean, we're just here, identify with our body and stream of thoughts. So, I wake up and I'm this body, and then I have my stream of thoughts, and that's my personality, and now this is my life. So, when I'm purely operating on this level of self realization, things can manifest, yeah, because I have a desire, and then I go and like buy something and I find the perfect pair of shoes, or I land a job that I wanted to have. So it's all good. However, manifestation teaching proposes this. You imagine having something right now, in this moment, there is no separation from subject and the object of desire. There is no separation from you and that thing whatsoever. So even if you don't have it, the experience you're not having right now, that experience, or you're not having that thing, it's not physically in your personal life, you have it. So what is this saying? Well, this is saying that actually you are one with everything. And then certain things appear in your physical reality and certain things do not appear there. But already you are one with that. So who is that you then? Because on the level of the ego, we are not one with this world. On the level of the ego, we are not one with this world. Because the ego is designed to understand ourselves as individual, and I'm separated from the sounds of the birds, and I'm separate from the trees around me. And I'm separate from the other people. There's some people playing football there. So obviously I experience myself as separate. So this is then the differentiation that we need to be able to make. And based on this, I'm going to tell you how to manifest. So manifestation teaching then can be looked at maybe something that is guiding us towards self-realization as oneness, yeah? It could be derailing us to actually create more unfulfilled desires. Because here's what happened in your life. This is what happens. By default, your body will have, your subconscious will record a lot of images. And already you're manifesting, whether you know it or not. Your subconscious is simply going to manifest everything that it recorded. But not in an order that the ego wants something. Yeah. So then we don't notice that we are manifesting because things come in kind of a randomized order. Actually, it's not randomized at all. It's highly structured, but to the ego, it might seem like that. To the ego, it might seem that you can't manifest, and to the ego, it seems that you're separate from the object of your desire. So the ego can manufacture more desire. and want to manifest more things. But this actually could be derailing us from the natural process of evolution. See, at a certain point, one individual may actually satisfy its cravings, its desires, kind of fulfill. And there are stages of life where you're a kid, you want to have some toys, and then you overgrow that. So you're satisfied. You don't feel like playing with toys anymore. I think everybody had this phase. You overgrow your Barbies or Lego. I had Lego. So you just outgrow it, and then, well, the next stage of life will initiate you into new experiences. This will form new desires. Now you will want other things. Like, I want to grow up. I want to have a career. I want to have money. I want to buy a car. And there you go. So it's normal to follow desires of your character. They're there for the reason. They're the part of the story. However, once they are satiated, what then? Well, in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, the very first aphorism, he says, and now yoga, meaning once you satiated these desires, and you're like, what now? Well, now you have to realize you being one. Because as long as you're pursuing the physical life, it feels and it looks like you're separate from everything outside of you. And then desires and pursuing endeavor, pursuing the object of desire, purchasing the object, all makes sense, yeah? Now, from the standpoint of yoga or oneness, yeah, being in one with everything, I will explain it like this. And if you are already in these awakening stages and you're not purely seeking some kind of manifestation of external stuff, right? Then this will make sense to you. And once you are in the state of union, things shall be added unto you. Enter the kingdom of heaven first, things shall be added unto you. So it's easy, actually. Then this is manifestation becomes really without effort, or maybe not necessarily you need physical. You don't need to operate in a dual reality, in a physical world. You can purely imagine it, and it just renders out in your timeline. This is how it works. But first, you need to know yourself. So where you are, right here, you are consciousness. However, you're experiencing your body, and your body through the mind is experiencing the world around it. So when you see the trees and you see the things, already through the mind, you're giving them meaning and nomenclature, and you're experiencing world of duality. But who is experiencing that? Only consciousness. Only consciousness. And you know what? If somehow your left brain was removed from your head, you would be experiencing just the intricate web of information. The sounds, the objects around you wouldn't have a definition that separates them. It would be just like a network of energy. You see? So, on one hand, in the design of this reality, we want to separate objects so we can use objects. You see what I mean? And we can get locked into this left brain rigid perceiving, where everything needs to be like scientific materialism. Everything needs to be understood in a sequence, in a linear sequence. Something needs to appear in a sequence that has been pre-recorded so it can be understood. Language works like this. Okay, and then on your right brain side, you could be completely woo-woo. That's your feminine. Oh, everything is nice, no need to make sense or structure. However, both of these, everything being kind of fluid, oneness, flow of like the web of information that's all interconnected, your right brain, or everything needs to be separated into little boxes. These are just also appearances in consciousness. Okay, so if you start from the beginning, you will find that there is consciousness, and then it projects a map of information, and it can structure it and put it into compartments. Yeah, but information outside world, things, cars, trees, monies, birds, they're just products of consciousness. It's that simple. You need to start with yourself, and then through your self-realization, through direct knowing of yourself, you will see, you will know that you are all that is. So now, the dimension where things are separate and there's an ego trying to manifest, there's a body going to buy a car. That's a peripheral dimension. Okay, this is not where you're manifesting from. You know, I'm this body, and like I need to walk, like go somewhere, and I need to buy some apples. Yeah, this is not where the manifestation happen. This is where, or actually, you could say, the physical appearance, the experience of reality, where my consciousness, my body stands up, and my consciousness is driven. This perspective, this camera conscious, driven by my body to the supermarket where I get some apples. You can say this is manifestation, but this is the effect. This is not the cause. So you understand now, the ego or the body or the apples, they're the effect. Manifestation, you can work on the causal level. On the causal level is unified consciousness. There's no body, there's no apples, there's no subject, there's no object. There is only you. So from there, now you start to, so from the point singularity, now from the point, let's say like this, from the point you start to make something into, split something into two. So this is going to be me, this is going to be the object of my desire, and then we are separated by the force, mental force of repulsion, or unified by the mental force of attraction. And then so in order for the ego to exist without something, you need to imagine being something, and that something other of you being over there. And then because you're separated in your mind, the physical reality is mind, is the effect of your mind is doing. Okay, this whole playground, this whole physical reality, it is the projection of the mind. So it's like a theater that actually follows what you're imagining. And in imagination, in the mind, there's force of repulsion and attraction. So when from pure consciousness, you create yourself to be Jovan or Tom, Mary, and apples, or Tom and $1 million, yeah? Now, first of all, you separated these two, the subject and the object, by the force of repulsion. However, I am, consciousness here, unity, singularity. I separate myself into my character and my apples, or my $1 million, yeah? So now there's attraction. I want to complete myself by unifying Tom with the $1 million, and then transcending that experience back into pure observer. But now when you know this, what decides whether you have it or not? Simply how you imagine it. Whether you imagine it in a state of repulsion, not being here, and then in the physical world it will show up outside of you. I mean, not close to your person or your body, or you imagine yourself holding it, eating the apple, spending the money, whatever, yeah? So from pure consciousness, you're simply now imagining different state of reality. Okay, so if you don't know yourself like this, and some people come to my channel and say, but this manifestation teaching, is it all like some kind of religion, or like you're trying, Jovan, you're trying to sell us your courses to just make money and hoax us and tell us like fairy tales, and then it's all wishful thinking? No, it's not. It's actually, I'm explaining, I'm not teaching law of attraction and some kind of mystified suggestions. I'm telling you how reality works. This is default. This is how it works. But if you don't know yourself, if you're asking these questions from the ego, and I guess, this is also my channel is more about self-realization. I'm posting manifestation videos because this is everybody in their states of like developing our character. We want the car, we want the Lego, we want the Barbie, we want the Apple, we want the something, right? The money. So we will look for how to get that in our physical environment. However, then I'm adding this. First, enlightenment, self-realization, then stay as this. Don't be thinking from here, I'm Tom, I'm Tom, I'm Tom, where to find the apple, where to find the apple, and the apple is like escaping me. It's like chasing the carrot on a stick. Nah, first retrieve yourself to where you are, the I amness, and then simply reconfigure how you imagine Tom and apples to show up. That's it.